So this video is going to be about Trump's top 6 grifts. The top 6 acts of corruption that Trump and his administration are engaged in. This isn't something that you can usually make a video about. You don't have an administration that has so many items of corruption that it's engaged in that you can actually make a video of its top 6. There's rarely 1 or 2 that you ever find out, and often they get investigated and you realize it wasn't actually straight corruption. But there's so many acts of corruption Trump is engaged in that we can actually make a top 6 list like this. And that's what I'm going to go through. And I'm going to go through it because there's been a fantastic presentation in the Senate by Adam Schiff, Senator from California, who's catalogued it beautifully. And so I'm going to play clips from his presentation alongside this video as well. Before I do, just a quick word about the channel. I hope you're enjoying the video. As a psychiatrist who's fascinated by the worlds of politics and economics and philosophy, I love making these videos, and if you'd like to see more of them, then please do like and subscribe and comment in this video. What you'll find is that there's a beautiful community growing up around this channel. We're all going through a national and international trauma right now because of what's happening and where our leaders are taking us. And in this channel you'll find people honestly sharing their situation and their distress, and other people responding with kindness, empathy and compassion. So please join this wonderful community that we're forming, join in the comments and the dialogue that's happening. So, in my top 6, in at number 6 is the naked sales of cars that belong to the company owned by his biggest donor. So Elon Musk is Trump's biggest donor. He gave Trump a couple of $100 million during the election campaign. And in order to pay him back, Trump then had an actual sales show in the White House. He turned the White House lawn into a Tesla showroom for a good half an hour or hour or so, to help to sell Tesla cars. He directly turned the White House into a market. And in return for that, Musk then donated another $100 million to Trump's campaigns.
The best part of the deal for Donald Trump took place after the Teslas had been driven away and the cameras had been packed up. Because not long after the special live stream on X or Twitter had ended, something even more important happened. With Tesla shares on the rebound, Elon Musk promised to pump $100 million into Donald Trump's political operation. That's right, Donald Trump received one of the largest political contributions in American history, all for the price of one measly Tesla Model S and the use of the White House as a sales room.
Straight up corruption. I sell your cars, you donate money to me. Now, number 5 in Trump's list of top 6 grifts. Trump regularly goes out and plays golf. Okay, he can do that, other presidents do that. But he's the only president in history that makes a profit when he takes a break. You see, when Trump goes to play golf, he only plays golf in his own resorts. And when Trump goes to his own resorts as president, there's a whole load of people who need to book rooms in that resort. There's a whole amount of security that needs to happen. There's places for the Secret Service to stay before he goes for days. There's places that officials need to stay. There's rooms they need to hire. All of that Trump charges to the government at extremely high extortionate rates, rates that wouldn't be charged for other people otherwise. But they have no choice but to pay it. So he basically extorts the government every time he goes on a golf trip. That's why he goes on so many, because he makes a huge amount of money every time he goes on a golf trip from all the charges he levies against the US government in order to surround, protect and enable him. Again, an innovative way to make money that no other president has ever even imagined before.
Through market collapses, Donald Trump is out on the golf course. Through national crises, Donald Trump was out on the golf course, enjoying the golden age in his golden golf cart, playing the back nine, while you struggled to pay your rent or your mortgage. Which is bad in and of itself, that the President of the United States is spending so much time, when there's so many challenges facing American families, out on the golf course. But that's not even the worst of it. Because guess who is paying for all that golf? You are. You are the American people, the taxpayer. That's right, all those drives and those chip shots, all those slices and those hooks, all the missed putts, you're paying for every hole. This term, reports suggest he's spent well over $30 million in taxpayer funds on these golfing trips. That's your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just the use of these taxpayer funds that's a travesty. It's that these taxpayer dollars go to benefit him directly. His golf courses, his hotels charge the U.S. government to pay for the Secret Service agents and other White House staff to play golf with him or to accompany him on his rounds.
But that's nothing compared to number 4, which is a level of innovation in terms of sucking money out of the government that anyone actually could have done. You don't have to have resorts for this one. Anyone could have done this. But nobody had the ethical or integrity deficit that Trump does to even consider something like this. You see, what he's done is he set up a club called the Executive Branch. This is what his son does. He set up a club called the Executive Branch in Washington, D.C. And the membership fees of the club is $500,000 each. You have to pay $500,000 to become a member of basically the Trump Club called the Executive Branch. And when you become a member of the Executive Branch, this Trump Club, you get to meet Donald Trump, you get to meet the Trump family, you get to meet members of the administration. In other words, you get to peddle influence. So he's directly found a way to charge people for influence by getting his son to set up this executive club so that they can charge $500,000 for everybody who's allowed to walk through the door.
For a cool $500,000 membership fee, you too can schmooze with people wheeling and dealing within the administration. There is perhaps no more appropriate image of the Trump presidency than this. The Executive Branch Club is an invite-only club for insiders, foreign investors, and billionaires to directly line the pockets of the first family, sending a message as clear as day to anyone who wants to do business in the United States. If you want to be with Trump, you've got to pay the cover charge.
Number 3, you know, what we can realize is that given the amount of money flowing from Musk to Trump, money for Musk means money for Trump. So he needs to make sure that Musk is well replenished, which is why he was selling Teslas on the White House lawn. What he's also doing is, when he's threatening countries with tariffs, of course those countries are very threatened. Their entire economic livelihood could be threatened by that. So he's offering some countries a get out. Okay, I'll reduce the tariffs, provided you use Starlink for your satellite communications in your country. So Starlink, of course, is owned by Elon Musk, and he's basically blackmailing these countries. I'll hike your tariffs up unless you use Starlink for all of your satellite communications and pay all of that money to Musk, which eventually, as we know, a lot of it finds its way to Trump.
In February, Elon Musk met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Blair House, a government building just steps from the White House. Their meeting was private, but the results were very public. Shortly after the meeting, India announced 2 Starlink distribution deals. Millions into Musk's pockets negotiated steps away from the White House. Since then, since the imposition of these tariffs, since the need of other countries to come in and to negotiate tariffs away with the Trump administration, Elon Musk has reached deals with Somalia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Vietnam. And that's just what we know about so far. But I promise you, this will not be the end of it. It's among the most obvious, egregious, and dangerous acts of corruption in American history. Want out from under a tariff? Make a deal with Elon Musk and Starlink. And they're barely trying to hide it.
So there's a massive Starlink tariff scam going on there too. Number 2, most of us know by now about the Qatari plane. The government of Qatar have offered to give a $400 million plane to Donald Trump. It is essentially for his own personal use because although it will be used as Air Force One while he's president, when he leaves office, it will go with him. So in other words, it's a gift, direct gift to Donald Trump. That has now officially been received by the US Department of Defense. It's formally been taken over. And they almost certainly will have to spend millions, possibly hundreds of millions of dollars to strip it bare, make sure it doesn't contain any bugs, and completely ransack it to make sure it's safe. All of that money coming from the government to Trump is something Trump will benefit from for the rest of his life. And it's already now in the hands of the US government. The deal is already done.
While American airports are in crisis, air traffic controllers, shortages, radar blackouts, massive delays, and surging prices for you, the passenger, this is what the President of the United States is focused on. Not bringing down airfare for you, not dealing with those luggage fees and all the hidden costs when you buy airplane tickets. No, that's not what the President of the United States cares about. This is what he cares about. He cares about getting a $400 million gift from the Gutteries, which he calls a nice gesture.
And number one, top of the list, is Trump's Memecoin. The Trump coin that I've mentioned in videos before is a form of cryptocurrency that is owned by the Trump family, essentially. So all transaction fees relating to this coin go directly to the Trump family. So if you buy or sell the coin, the transaction fees involved in that buying and selling goes directly to the Trump family. And so he wants people to use it more, to trade it more, to use it as much as possible. And he did two things in relation to that. Just this week, we saw a big party in one of Trump's golf resorts where Trump hosted a whole bunch of people who had bought lots of Trump meme coin. It was a competition. The more of the coin you get, the more likely you are to get a dinner with Trump. And so he did. He basically sold access to himself. Now, not only that, the government of Abu Dhabi have set up an investment fund, putting in $2 billion and using all of that $2 billion to buy Trump coin. And just imagine the transaction fees from that. How much money is Trump and his family going to make off of that? Again, from the government of Abu Dhabi.
Now this meme coin's gone up and down in value, but the thing is, every time it gets traded, every time it's bought or sold, this guy gets a cut. He gets the fees, estimated already at the value of hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like posting his Venmo account online, inviting personal monetary tributes from foreign powers, foreign investors, or anyone else who's willing to pay up. You've heard about the private dinner that they're offering associated with this meme coin. The top 220 meme coin owners, many of whom are foreign investors, invited to a private dinner with the President of the United States. Businesses are buying and jockeying to be one of the favored few who also get a private audience with him if they're willing to buy millions of meme coins, not to mention a personal tour of the White House.
So all of these Middle Eastern states have found beautiful ways to funnel money into Donald Trump's pockets. And so we shouldn't be surprised that that is the first place he went to when he decided to do a formal foreign tour. Now we know why. So this top six has been part of a long list that exists out there, a list that Senator Adam Schiff detailed beautifully, cogently and powerfully. And so I'm going to end the video with his closing remarks in that powerful statement, waking us all up to the extent of genuine corruption in this administration.
So that's the art of the deal with this president. Trump gets rich, you get screwed. Over and over and over again. It's obvious to anyone who looks, but it bears repeating. He does not care about you. He does not care about making your life better. He does not care that prices are soaring or that home ownership seems impossible. He doesn't care if you have to choose between rent or groceries, let alone whether you'll be able to take that family on a vacation that you've dreamed of. He doesn't care if the health care you rely on gets cut or your local Social Security office closes down. He doesn't care. If it helps pay for his billionaire tax cuts, it's all the same to him. He does not care. Trump cares about one thing and one thing only. The same thing he cared about when he wrote this book. And the same thing he's focused on every day of this presidency. Deals to make himself richer, to make his family richer, to make his billionaire friends richer. And my colleagues, he is succeeding. He is succeeding beyond his wildest imagination. He will likely make more money in the next 4 years than he did in his entire life up to that point. In fact, He probably already has.
I hope you liked the video. I hope you also can join me with more of my content that I'm aiming to make over the coming months and years. You see, this time around, what we're experiencing in this administration is a global trauma, and the people going through it have been asking, how can we support ourselves? How can we learn and grow and share together through this process? So I've started to write a series of ebooks. That's together with my whole team. Once a month, we're going to produce an ebook to help us understand better the psychology of the people around us and the systems we're in, as well as our own psychology too, to help us navigate this increasingly confusing and disorientating world we find ourselves in. You'll be able to find those books on russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com. As soon as you go there, you'll be able to see the growing catalogue of books and hopefully buy any of them at any point. In addition, I hope you can subscribe to my e-newsletter. See, there's a link in the description of this video and also the description of the channel. And if you go there, you'll be able to fill out a form. Once you've completed the form, you'll then be able to get subscribed to my e-newsletter. And that way you can always be kept up to date about the content I'm producing. You see, the fact is that this platform, as well as all platforms, are owned by a very small number of oligarchs. And at any point, they might decide to shut down a channel like this. And if they do that, then, well, it's going to be hard for us to keep connecting. So if you sign up for my e-newsletter, that way you'll be able to make sure that you'll be informed about my content wherever it's delivered and wherever it lands. Finally, I hope you might also consider becoming a member of the channel. If you do, you'll get these ebooks for free every month. So all the ebooks I produce go free to my members who join the channel every month. Also, you can get priority response to comments, and there's also a members-only chat page for higher-level members that we engage in regularly to sort of learn, share, and support one another. As I say, this is a difficult time, it's a traumatic time in history, so many of us need support from each other. I'm hoping each of these things can help all of us create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.